Have you ever learned English for years? But when a native speaker says something like, "Hey, what's up? That movie was lit. Let's grab a bite," you suddenly feel lost. You know the grammar, you know the vocabulary, but real English conversation still feels difficult. So today I decided to do something a little crazy. I spent an entire day speaking only English slang. No formal English. No textbook phrases. Just real expressions people actually use every day. And let me tell you, some moments were awkward, some were funny, and some were actually pretty awesome. But the most important thing is this. By the end of the day, my English felt much more natural and fluent. So in this video I'm going to show you what happened during my slang experiment, the slang phrases I used, how native speakers reacted, and how you can practice using slang naturally. We'll also do shadowing practice together so you can train your speaking skills. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll be able to sound more natural in English conversations. Alright, let's start the day. Part 1 Morning. The experiment begins. It was 7:30 in the morning when I woke up. Usually when I start my day, I speak normally. But today was different. Today I had a rule. Only slang English. I looked at my phone. My friend Alex had sent me a message. "Morning. How are you?" Quote. Normally I might reply, "I'm doing well. Thank you." But today, I typed, "Hey, I'm good. Just woke up. What's up?" That phrase, "what's up," is very common slang. It simply means, "What's happening?" or "How are you?" Native speakers use it all the time. Not only with friends, but even with co-workers sometimes. Alex replied, "Not much. Just getting ready for work." So I answered, "Same here. I'm gonna grab some coffee." Notice something interesting. Instead of saying, "I am going to get some coffee," I said, "I'm gonna grab some coffee." Gonna is a spoken contraction of going to, and grab means get something quickly. Native speakers love these kinds of expressions because they sound relaxed and natural. Shadowing. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Speak out loud. Ready? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Next. Not much, not much, not much. And one more. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I'm gonna grab some coffee. Great job. Shadowing helps train your mouth and brain to work together. Don't worry about being perfect. Just keep speaking. Part 2 At the coffee shop. Around 8:30 a.m. I walked into a coffee shop. Now this was the real test. Could I use slang in a real interaction? The barista smiled and said, "Hi, what can I get for you?" Normally I might say, "I would like a cappuccino, please." But remember, today's rule was slang only. So I said, "Hey, can I grab a cappuccino?" Quote. The barista nodded. Sure thing. Sure thing is another casual phrase. It simply means, "Of course." Then she asked, "Anything else?" And I replied, "That's it." But then I added another slang phrase. Actually, make it two. I'm starving. Starving doesn't literally mean dying from hunger. It simply means very hungry. The barista laughed and said, "Got it." So far the experiment was going well. Nobody looked confused. Nobody thought it was strange. In fact, the conversation felt very natural. Shadowing. Let's repeat a few useful phrases. Ready? Can I grab a cappuccino? Can I grab a cappuccino? Can I grab a cappuccino? Next. Sure thing. Sure thing. Sure thing. And one more. I'm starving. I'm starving. I'm starving. Excellent. Part 3 on the way to work. After leaving the coffee shop, I started walking to work. My coworker Maya called me. Hey Zira, where are you? Instead of saying, I'm on my way, I use slang again. I'm on the way. I'll be there in a sec. In a sec means in a second, or simply very soon. Maya replied, cool. See you soon. When I arrived at the office, she said, hey, what's up? And I replied, not much. Just trying to wake up. She laughed. Same here. Then she said something interesting. This week has been crazy. That's another common expression. When people say something is crazy, they usually mean very busy or very stressful. Part 4, learning slang through real life. At this point, I realized something important. Many learners study English like this. Memorize vocabulary lists. Study grammar rules. Read textbooks. But native speakers don't speak like textbooks. They speak in short, relaxed expressions. For example, instead of saying, I am very tired, people say, I'm exhausted, or even, I'm wiped out. Instead of saying, that is very good, they say, that's awesome, or that's amazing, or that's great. Learning slang helps you understand how English actually sounds in daily life. The shadowing method. Here is a powerful technique that can help you sound more natural. It's called shadowing. Shadowing means you listen to a sentence and repeat it at the same time, not after, but with the speaker. This trains pronunciation, rhythm, natural speed. Here's a simple way to practice. Step 1. Choose a short video. Step 2. Listen to one sentence. Step 3. Repeat it out loud immediately. Step 4. Repeat it again. Step 5. Try to match the speaker's rhythm. If you practice 5 minutes a day, your speaking will improve faster. Shadowing. Let's practice some real slang sentences. Repeat after me. This week has been crazy. This week has been crazy. This week has been crazy. Next. I'll be there in a sec. I'll be there in a sec. I'll be there in a sec. And one more. I'm wiped out. I'm wiped out. I'm wiped out. Great work. Part 5, lunchtime conversations. Around 12:30 p.m. My co-workers and I went to lunch. We were discussing a new movie. One friend said, that movie was amazing. Another said, no way, it was boring. So I joined the conversation. That movie was lit. Lit is slang for exciting or really good. My friend laughed. Lit. That's a strong opinion. Then someone asked, do you want dessert? And I said, I'm down. I'm down means I agree or I'm interested. Shadowing. Repeat with natural rhythm. That movie was lit. That movie was lit. That movie was lit. Next. I'm down. I'm down. I'm down. Part 6, funny moments. Not every moment of the experiment was perfect. At one point I tried to use the phrase, no worries, but I used it in the wrong situation. A coworker said, sorry for being late. And I replied, no worries, that was okay. But later someone asked, can you finish this report today? And I said, no worries. My coworker looked confused. Because in that situation, it sounded like I was promising something I wasn't sure about. So remember, slang is natural, but context matters. Part 7, evening reflections. After work, I met a friend for dinner. By this time, I had been using slang all day, and something interesting happened. My speaking felt faster and smoother. I wasn't translating in my head anymore. Instead of thinking, how do I say this sentence correctly? I just spoke. And that's the goal of fluency. Not perfect grammar, but natural communication. Final shadowing practice. Let's practice a few final sentences. Repeat after me. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Next. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. I'm down for that. And one more. Let's grab dinner. Let's grab dinner. Let's grab dinner. So what did I learn from this experiment? First, slang makes English sound more natural. Second, native speakers use shorter sentences. Third, fluency comes from practice, not perfection. If you want to improve your speaking, try this challenge. Spend one day using only simple English phrases. Use expressions like, "What's up?" "No worries." "I'm down." "That's awesome." And practice shadowing every day. Even 5 minutes can make a huge difference. If you enjoyed this lesson, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Speak Easy English, and keep practicing your English every day. I'm Zira, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep making English easy. Bye everyone.